Hello everyone. I'm going to do this video as an awareness to pet parents around the world. And this is based on what I went through with my cat. His name is Chandler, and he went by Baby Chan. Baby Chan died on November 3rd, 2018. June, he was in great health. August, he was in great health. I have him out on a leash. I'm going to put that on the channel as well. He was out on a leash. He was walking. His temperament was fine. Everything was great. That was in August. September 8th, I found a tick on his neck. I pulled the tick out of his neck. And I thought to myself, what do I do? I mean, I cleaned it with a little bit of solution, a little alcohol wipe. Cleaned it really well and just thought, well, I'll just keep an eye on him. That was September 8th. October 1 is when he started scratching his ear. Looked in his ear, so he had a bunch of brown gunk, took him to an emergency vet. The emergency vet said, yes, he has an ear infection. They did an incredible washout of his ear, which I would never recommend. Unless it was really urgent. I think that the two techs that did it, I'd like to bang their heads together now because they were very rough with him. I don't deal well with seeing my cat crying out in panic. With that, after that vigorous cleaning of his ear, he started having dizziness and he was walking sideways and like his head tipped sideways and he couldn't get his balance. He fell a couple of times. It was awful. I ended up bringing him to a local vet that he had not been to before. Now, this was vet trip number 2. And that vet said, well, he has a slight heart murmur. Other than that, he just got an infection, And she looked a little bit closer and she said, well, I see a mass in his ear. She seemed to panic more than I did because I felt that her language with me and the way she was talking seemed like fear tactics, like as if to say, oh no, I'm so sorry, it's a mass. Yeah, it's a mass. And then I saw in the report that it was called polyp. She had said to me that she wanted to grab it and pull it out. And I was like, I don't know. It was just rubbing me the wrong way. I didn't feel right about it. I wanted a second opinion. And again, this was in October. So I brought him October 12th, I think it was, or 13th. I brought him the following day to vet number 3 now, which was the partner of his normal vet. She was quite impressive. She talked to me in circles. My parents came with me. I was very impressed. She seemed very knowledgeable. And I had told her about the tick bite. She blew that off. Told her about the polyp. She said, well, we could take that polyp out, but I'm more concerned with this murmur. So now you've got one vet saying it's just an ear infection. You've got the second vet saying, okay, I do hear a little bit of a murmur, but this polyp's got to come out. And then vet number 3 says, not worried so much about the polyp. People leave them in their cats all the time. I'm worried about this murmur. Let's get an EKG. Ultrasound, x-rays, whatever. And I'm thinking thousands of dollars here. He's got an ear infection. Can we just give him something to stop the ear infection? And he's falling all over the place. And she said the falling is because of the ear wash that he had. So she says, well, let's do steroids, and I'm going to give him a long-lasting antibiotic. No need to pill him every day, to give him the pills. Just do the antibiotic, take care of it, no problem. And I said, my God, I keep feeling like this gut feeling, something's like something's wrong. And she said, no, he's fine. I said, can you take his blood anyway? Can you take his blood anyway? She said, fine. She took the blood, she gave him the shot, and she put him on steroid. And that steroid was a pill. So I started administering the steroid. The Convenia was the shot. The test came back a short time later, but in the meantime, baby Chan started having severe, strange symptoms. He was getting confused. He was getting paranoid, didn't know what was going on around him. He'd get up, he'd be looking at the ceiling. He'd never done that before. A couple of times I'd make the tiniest little noise, like the tiniest little noise, and he'd panic, just like scared of any little noise. So I started to think, like, what's going on with him? He seems paranoid. He's depressed. He's hiding. He's going to places he doesn't normally go. Something's wrong. He started getting lethargic and he stopped eating. I was leaving his feedings out and he wasn't touching them. And I said, something is seriously wrong here. So I called his real vet, which was a New York City vet that I trusted implicitly. In a very, very quick phone call, he said, what's going on with him? I said, are you aware of what's going on? He goes, well, let me read what's going on here. Let me look at the papers. Hold on. And then you hear him yelling in the background for them to get the blood work results and bring them to him. And it's quick, quick, quick. He's a very, very hurry up guy. No BS, no small talk. This is the way it's going to be. This is what I say, and what I say goes. That's how he is. And I trusted that. So he's reading the report, the blood results, and he said, you said he was bitten by a tick in September? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, that's been a month. He goes, I want to start him on doxycycline immediately, and I want to over-treat him because I think these may be symptoms of possibly some sort of a tick-borne illness. The problem was he couldn't give him doxycycline because Convenia was already administered, and Convenia doesn't leave the system. Once you give Convenia, you can't take it back. I did the research and I ended up finding out that there are severe adverse reactions, not only with Convenia, but with Convenia and doxycycline mixed. There was nothing I could do at that point because the severe adverse reactions that could have resulted from the doxycycline scared me so bad that at that point I was desperate for any answers. So I said, well, I can't. What do I do? Do we get these other tests done? What do I do? I get the one saying the polyp, pull the polyp out. The next one saying the murmur, it's the murmur. The next one saying it's the tick bite. You got to treat the tick bite. I didn't know what to think. I panicked. And I just prayed. And I said to myself, what if? What if this Convenia is what if this is what it is? What if this is killing him? I found the Facebook page Convenia Adverse Reactions. It's on Facebook. There's over 2,200 members as of January 2019. And it is scary because it is full of stories, left and right, up and down, of people whose pets were given Convenia for simple tooth cleanings and died a couple of weeks later. It is frightening to me. Frightening. The fact that there are so many people who have grieved losses of their animals and there was nothing they could do. People whose animals had a simple sneeze and the vets administered them Convenia. Convenia is only meant for wounds that are infected. That's it. Vets are giving them out like candy. There's a blog online where a veterinarian is saying, I give this stuff out by the gallons. Never had a problem. Well, my baby Chan ended up dead. Because I brought him after his regular vet said to me, I want to overtreat him. I want to, get him right in here for doxycycline. By the time I got off the phone, I said, wait a minute, let me research this first. And then that's when I found out you can't mix the two. Whether or not he even saw it on the chart, I don't know. But I brought him then to vet number 5. And vet number 5 said, I want his anemia tested because something's not right with him. And I was told that he was anemic by his real vet, a couple of days ago on the phone. I'm panicking. I don't know what to do, and I want to know what his levels are. I knew not the first thing about the levels, but I knew what I had seen in the Facebook page, and people were saying that their animals had like level 14, level 13. So vet 5 tested him and said, it's a 10. This is very, very serious. You don't have time. You need to get him to an internist immediately. She couldn't do anything. She gave him, I asked her to give him sub-Q and, B12 and just give him fluids. What do I do? He's not eating. Well, that night is when I had to face the fact that that very well may be my last night with him. The next day I brought him to vet number 6, who told me he's dying. There's nothing you can do other than thousands and thousands of dollars in tests, blood transfusions. He's dying. And I realized at that time that the entire night before, the crying over him, the praying over him, sobbing with him hiding under the bed. I'm going to be putting that on the channel as well. I had known, and I think he knew that he didn't have much time, hours at best. I said goodbye to him and I put him down. And now I'm angry. And my fight continues. I will fight for him after he's gone as much as I fought for him while he was alive. I ended up finding out Convenia causes severe anemia in animals. So if the anemia was a level 1 low grade anemia, and by the way, the heart murmur. The heart murmur would have been a symptom of anemia. And the worst thing he could have been given was Convenia, because Convenia causes anemia. So if he was already slightly anemic, say it was from a tick bite, and all he needed was doxycycline, he could have gotten the doxycycline immediately, initially, and I believe he'd still be here. Veterinarians are denying this all over the United States, and I believe in other countries, claiming they've had no problems with it, no issues, no problems whatsoever. Well, let me tell you something. You got a problem now, because it happened to my cat. And there's a lot of grieving pet parents out there, and they might have stopped when they had to give up their fight. But when I had to give up my fight for my little baby boy, it was just starting. I contacted Zoetis. They ignored my call. They took my information and nobody contacted me back. I sent the woman that gave him that death shot a very long email along with her partner. Ignored. So over 2,200 people that have visited that Convenia Adverse Effects Facebook page, crying their eyes out, losing their beloved pets. Nobody does anything. So I've started this channel. This is Chan's channel. And I will fight. And I will make sure that something is done about that shot. Go check it out. I'm going to leave the link below. It is Convenia Adverse Reactions. Over 2,200 people in the group. And continuing following the channel, because I'm going to show updates that took place along the way, and follow along in the fight. So thanks for watching Chandler's story, and please click the subscribe button so you can keep informed on whatever the process and the end result ends up to be. God bless you all, and I'm sorry to anybody that has gone through this. It is an absolute nightmare.